Hello, how's everybody doing tonight? What is up? Let's see. I see Thomas Bartholdi in the live chat. Tom Jr. Jackson is here. Irene Jobson, how are you tonight? Alan S. is here. Thank you so much. Let's see. Dr. Stinky, Phil Magoo, how are you guys? Hello. How's everyone doing? Oh, this is so exciting, you guys. This is what? My third live stream in a week. I can't even believe it. Or I've done less or more because it's a number. So who knows? Hello, Freddie Lane. Hello, Peter Cunnington. How are you guys all doing? Just a show of hands in the live chat. How many of you have had a chance to watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 so far? A Silly Goose is in the live chat. Hello. Hello, Elise. Hi, Anthony. Oh my gosh, it made me cry several times, you guys. Okay, looks like you guys have seen it. Okay, that's good. Just so everybody knows the rundown of this, I'm going to keep the first half, well, not half, first part of this spoiler free, just because there's going to be some people who haven't had a chance to watch the movie yet, so they have some of the show to watch, and then I will make it very clear and warn you guys when we get into spoilers, because I don't want to ruin anything for anyone. So Steve has not had a chance to watch it yet, so don't worry, Steve, you can still hang out, and then as soon as we get into spoilers, I will let you guys know. A Silly Goose, yeah, it was good. Oh no. Oh, Irene, you haven't had a chance to see it, but you're okay with spoilers. Okay. All right, so I just want to point out a couple things. I've been changing the setup, you guys, and it's been pretty fun. So behind me, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and Volume 2 vinyls. We got those at D23 a few years ago, and we actually got to meet, oh, oops, I was going to show the picture. We got to meet Tyler Bates, and he signed our vinyl records for us at D23. So they are there. They're so cool. I have to say, one of my favorite things about all of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies is the soundtrack. They always have such great music in the movies. Yeah, Hugo, I loved the soundtrack in this one. I avoided all of it at all costs because I know some of it was being posted online ahead of time, and I didn't want to know any of the songs before I saw the movie, so I could experience it in context, and it was worth the wait. So yeah, the vinyls are behind me, and then I have this way on Shrek's lap, which is normally where I am, I have my baby Groot. Just to let you guys know, super chats are turned on, and this stream is probably going to go till 8:45, only because I'm going over to our friend Scott and Tanya's house after this with June, and we're going to go have some wine and hang out and relax. It's Saturday. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure to let you guys know we will do a spoiler-free section and then a spoiler section. But I'm so thankful to everyone who is here and for joining. Yeah, thanks for spending part of it's Saturday, right? It is Saturday, so thanks for spending your Saturday evening with me. And before we get into any more of Guardians, it is also Free Comic Book Day, and that's something I used to do all the time as a kid because I loved getting a big stack of free comics. But it wasn't just like Batman or Superman or things I already knew. They would give me comics of characters I had never heard of, and then I would read them, and that's how I discovered so many of my other favorite characters. So today I went to Legacy Cards and Comics. This is in Glendale, right across the street from the Glendale Galleria. And I got my free comic books, and then I had to get a few while I was there as well. Yes, Tom, it is Saturday. But yeah, I know it's too late now because where I am, it's 8:05, and I know where you guys are, it's even later. But Free Comic Book Day is a very good way to support your local comic book store. So the first one I got, this one looks pretty cool, Mech Cadets. It says that there's a Netflix animated series coming soon. So I had not heard of this one before, but I'm looking forward to reading this one. It looks pretty fun. I don't know if it's based on something, but that's cool. There's going to be an animated Netflix series coming soon. So Mech Cadets, very, very excited. And then this one was also very cool to me, Ranger Academy. Very nice artwork. And I loved the Power Rangers growing up, so I am looking forward to reading that one as well. Oh yeah, and then I don't know how many of you are fans of the Umbrella Academy, but I really enjoy that show on Netflix. They had an Umbrella Academy comic book for Free Comic Book Day. Hello, Guillaume Labelle. Thank you for joining. So this one's pretty nice. This one, I'm excited to read too. I'm excited for all of these. I'm just gonna binge read all of these as soon as I can. But Marvel Voices, this is number 1. Look at how great this is. I'm sorry about the glare, but we have Spider-Man, we have T'Challa, we have Shang-Chi on the cover, Storm. Just such a beautiful, beautiful cover. Did anyone else have a chance to go to Free Comic Book Day? And if so, which comic book store did you go to? Because I love this. I think it's such a great way to get people into comic books. And this one was Uncanny Avengers. I just love all of them. Like, sometimes there's a few that I'm not interested in, but this year was like a really, really good selection, including this Spider-Man and Venom one. Look at that. Like, that is such a beautiful, beautiful cover. And then, oh, David found this one actually before I did. They had a High Republic comic, and I was reading them all, but I fell a little bit behind. So this one looks pretty nice too. High Republic Adventures.
It also has Avatar.
Ooh, David's whispering off screen that it also has Avatar, The Last Airbender in the back. So that's pretty exciting to get into. Yeah, Irene, it's a really fun thing every year. This one I got for sure. I want to read it to my niece Ariel. She loves Spidey and Friends. Her favorite is Spider-Gwen, but she's like obsessed with Spider-Man. So this one's really cute. It's a great way too to get kids involved, because like I was looking through this one. The last one I got her of this comic, it was her first comic ever. She is 4 years old, turning 5 very soon. It came with a mask that you cut out and you can like wear it on your head. But look, in the back there's like activities too, like coloring and mazes, and I don't know which way to turn this for the camera, but it's just fun, and I think she's gonna love that one. It's from Disney Junior. And then let's see, this one I wasn't familiar with, Clark and Lex, as in, oh, it's a special preview of a young Superman graphic novel. But yeah, I had not heard of this specific line, but it looks pretty cool. And then the fan club Batman Squad, that looks really cute. I'll probably read this one to Ariel as well. And then let's see what else we have here. I have not heard of this one either, The Sacrificers, but that's half the fun of Free Comic Book Day, is finding characters and comics you've never heard of before, and then you read them, and then it turns you on to a whole new area of comics that you never knew about. Ooh, Dr. Stinky just saw John Wick. Yeah, nice, nice. This one's pretty cool too. I didn't realize who it was when I first picked it up, but it's called Girl Taking Over, and it's a Lois Lane story. So I thought that was pretty nice too. Look at that. I just love the way they drew her. And then this one I had to get. Ninja Turtles. Ugh, I'm so excited for the TMNT Mutant Mayhem movie coming out. It looks so good. And then just a couple more of the free ones. So this one's Dawn of DC Night Terrors Special Edition. Oopsie. Look at how beautiful that looks. And then, ooh, Red Sonja. I'm excited to read this one. I forgot. Does anyone know if the Red Sonja movie is still happening? I feel like it got canceled a few times, so I'm not sure if it's currently in production or if we're ever getting it, but I hope we do. And then the last one of the free ones was Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids. I really like the cover of this one. I remember reading these magazines when I was a kid, Garbage Pail Kids. I didn't know they were still around, so that's pretty fun. And then my favorite thing to do during Free Comic Book Day, besides get the free comics and learn about all these new characters and worlds, is to support the local comic book store and purchase some. So the ones that I bought, they are in the bag and boards, because you guys know I am very nervous about my collection of comic books getting water damage, getting dirty, ripped, anything. So I keep them in a bag and board. So if you thought the glare was bad before, get ready for this. So the first one, I got this one for David. He picked it out. It's Star Wars. It's a Darth Vader one. It's number 13 of 40. And it's Daddy Akbar's Plans. How cool is that? It's so retro looking. And then there's Mon Mothma right there. I just love it. Especially after just seeing the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi in the theaters. And then the next three, okay, so some of you may have seen J. Scott Campbell and I did our interview on my channel, I guess like a month ago now. Every time I go over, he shows us a little tiny peek at what he's working on. And there were a couple that I've been looking for a long time, and I found them today. The first one is Ghost Rider number 11. Look at how beautiful this cover is. I'm like obsessed with this cover. Isn't it so nice? This is the one I took a picture with when I was in the store. And then I am so hyped to read this one too. It's a Batman and Spawn crossover. Sorry about the glare, but look at that. Batman and Spawn, and then all the bats. Oh my gosh. It's just every time we go over and he shows us like the tiniest peek at what he's working on, I'm like blown away. And then I also like have to count down the days so I can get my hands on it. But this one is another one I've been looking for. Last comic. This one is Mary Jane and Black Cat. This is number 3. I just love the way he did this one. It's just so colorful, so fun. Oh, I'm so excited for my comics to add to my collection. But yeah, let's get back into Guardians. So I already mentioned the 2 vinyls and then the Baby Groot cameo on Shrek's lap. I'm very jealous. But I have some stuff to show. So 1 second. Let's get into the box office so far, which is very exciting. Marvel really needed this, you guys. Marvel needed a win. And so I'm very happy with these numbers. So right now, I know they're numbers and I know it's math, but according to my calculations that I didn't do, domestically it's made $48,000. It just came out. Worldwide it's at $83,000, so that's great. No, I already botched it. Million. You guys, who said Taylor read numbers live? Who said that? Million. It's okay, no one heard that, right? Million. Oh my God, I'm dead. Nice knowing you guys. But yeah, so I'm very happy with these numbers because it's off to a great start. I feel like it's going to exceed all the box office expectations. It is 2 hours and 30 minutes, but I gotta tell you guys, I honestly did not feel that runtime. I don't know about you guys, but I did not feel 2 hours and 30 minutes. For me, it flew by. And then I wanted to show the Rotten Tomatoes score. Oh, shout out to Book Club. I'm gonna be seeing that very soon, so keep an eye out for that Taylor's Take. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, 81% tomato meter, 95% audience score. So that's great too. Look at that. I just feel like the last few MCU films have been very divisive, leaning towards negative with Ant-Man, Quantumania, Thor, Love and Thunder. So it's just good to see that Marvel is, I don't want to say Marvel is back. I just feel like saying Marvel is back after just one film is not fair. We're going to have to see how the Marvels does. And then honestly, I cannot remember right now off the top of my head what other movie comes out after the Marvels. But I think once we get 3, I'm going to say once we get 3 in a row that are on a upwards trajectory, then we can say that Marvel is back. But I'm very happy to see the box office, and I'm very excited to see the Rotten Tomatoes scores, both critic and audience. I was doing some research, and this is some more math for you guys. Who knows how accurate this is, but according to my adding machine, the first Guardians of the Galaxy is 9 years old. It came out in 2014. Doesn't that blow your mind? 9 years with the Guardians, you guys. I don't know about that. That seems wrong, but my adding machine never lies. It's very weird to think. A couple other spoiler-free things that I would say about this movie. If you haven't had a chance to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 yet, and you have not watched the holiday special on Disney+, I highly, highly recommend watching the Guardians holiday special, because there's some stuff, some information that is revealed in the holiday special that is important to the story of Guardians 3. I don't think you'll be lost if you don't get a chance to watch it, but you're gonna just be like, oh, when did we know that, or when did we learn that, or when did that happen? So the Guardians holiday special, first of all, it's very fun. Kevin Bacon That part's hilarious to me. I honestly think that the Guardians holiday special is now going to be like an annual tradition along with the Grinch and Elf and Shrek the Halls. So, what? Shrek the Halls? So I would recommend checking that out. I already mentioned the runtime, 2 hours and 30 minutes. But yeah, I did not feel like I was sitting there for 2.5 hours. That blew my mind when I looked it up after. I was like, there's no way. So one of the other things I can talk about without getting into any spoilers is the score. I know Tyler Bates did the first two, which are behind me, but for this one they had John Murphy, whose name I wasn't familiar with, but when I looked him up, he did the 2021 The Suicide Squad, the James Gunn one. He did a film called Sunshine. He did 28 Weeks Later. He did X-Men, which one did he do? X-Men Days of Future Past. So it says he was a performer on Peacemaker and a performer on Wonder Woman 1984. So I really liked his score. I was telling David after the movie, the score of Guardians 3 kind of felt like the heavier tones in Infinity War and Endgame. So I really, really liked the score. But even more than the score, I was very, very excited, very impressed with this soundtrack. So, maybe I shouldn't. I was gonna list off some of the songs. I'll go back to that. I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't had a chance to see it. So I'll save that. I will say too, I really liked the costumes in this. I'm very into costuming in movies and costume design and talking to costume designers. For those of you who know, Robert Meyer Burnett and I, we used to do Designing Hollywood together. We would interview all different types of costume designers, from Ant-Man to The Glass Onion to Ms. Marvel. We did like a ton. I know, I miss Rob too. But I'm seeing him tomorrow actually, so I'm very excited for that. But the costumes in this were great. I loved the ones that are in the trailer that it's like different colored spacesuits, which I will talk about more in my spoiler part of this because they were very fun. And then for those of you wondering, there are 2 post-credit scenes. So if you're interested in that, stay all the way to the very end. But I will say, if you don't want to stay for whatever reason, there's nothing major revealed. There's not like a big character reveal, or there's not like any like earth-shattering things that happen. So if you already saw it and you didn't stick around to the end, I think you're gonna be okay. So I feel like I have talked enough about it without getting into spoilers. So I'm going to just give you guys the spoiler warning now. Before I do that, I will check in on super chats. And Irene says, why is Shrek baby Groot's daddy? Shrek is everybody's daddy, whether you know it or not. But yes, Shrek is love, Shrek is life, and Shrek is baby Groot's daddy. They just, look how cute they are together. I never know which way anything is. This way. Oh, that makes sense, because that's where he is. What? Anyways, yeah, I love that baby Groot. We got it at Disneyland, I think at the gift shop outside of the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. So, very, very cute. All right, next up we have Dr. Stinky. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is top 2 comic films. All love and 3K soon. Yeah, ooh, yeah, that's true. I am getting closer and closer to 3,000 subscribers, which is mind-blowing to me. That is so crazy. I remember, for those of you who have been here from the very beginning, I remember when I made a thank you video for 300 subscribers, and that blew my mind. And I do not know the difference between 300 and 3,000. Is it 10? 100? More?
2,700.
No. Like if I had 300 subscribers and then I'm at 3,000 subscribers, how many times more is that? Great, David doesn't know either. It's a number. I'm never doing math for you guys again. 10. There we go. Thank you guys. This is very hard for me to do. I'm telling you guys. Anyways, back to super chats. We have Jesse Price who says, hey Taylor, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's Saturday night. Feeling good, having a fun night with you guys. Free comic book day was very, very fun. And I'm excited to thank you guys, everyone in the live chat for trying to teach me math. Did I say 10 the first time? I think I did. All right, you guys, that is your spoiler warning. So now we are going to move into spoiler talk. I should create a spoiler graphic but I don't have one. So just, here we go. Oh yeah, Mr. 47 says, I thought it was a joke. Taylor is bad at math, but it's clearly not. It's not. I'm telling you guys right now, like, I tried. Math is just not my strong suit. All right, so we're moving on to spoilers now. And the first thing, I'll get back to the soundtrack because I was going to list off some songs, but I didn't want to spoil it for people like me who wanted to wait to see the movie to hear the songs. So it opened up with the acoustic version of Creep by Radiohead, and that was such a good choice too. I was wondering, I was like, what song are they going to open with? And that was not what I expected at all, especially because it was the acoustic version. But I was very pleasantly surprised with that. And then to hear Crazy on You by Heart, I think, man, this is tough, but I think my two favorite songs from the soundtrack were Since You've Been Gone by Rainbow, which I never knew that's who sang that song, and In the Meantime by Space Hog, which I also never knew that was the name of the band that did that song. But I love those songs. And we had Reasons from Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's one that's on here that I do not remember at all from the movie, and I do not know how to pronounce it, but it's Koinu, No Carnival. I don't think that was in the movie, but it's here on the playlist, so I don't know. We had the Beastie Boys from, some people have just joined. Just so you guys know, we are now on the spoiler part. So if you're just now joining, I'm just warning you, we are now on the spoiler part of the conversation. The Beastie Boys are having a MCU, I don't know, I wouldn't say resurgence because the Beastie Boys have always been huge, but just in terms of the MCU, we have Intergalactic in the Marvels trailer, and then in that incredible hallway scene, we had No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I'll get more into that hallway scene very soon, but I think that was my favorite scene of the whole movie. And then the movie ended with a song that I did not expect at all. And at first, when I first heard it, I was like, it felt a little bit out of place, only because the music in all the Guardians films so far had been older music. And then now when Rocket scrolled to the 2000s and it was Florence and the Machine, Dog Days Are Over, the first time it was like a little bit jarring to me, but then now I keep thinking about that scene and how emotional it was to see them all dancing. And then when Drax, who earlier in the film had said like dancing is for losers, he joined in on the dance, and it was just very sweet. So I am fully on board with that song being in the movie. Oh, very, very cute. All right, so now this is crazy to me. When I originally announced that I was going to do this live stream, I was like, oh, we're going to spend a big chunk of time talking about all the characters who died. And none of the Guardians died, you guys. I could not believe it. I was like, something's going to happen at the very last second. I was very, very worried, even before the movie started, going into this film, about Rocket. I thought we're going to lose Rocket this film. And I was so relieved. And yeah, glad they didn't, Thomas. And Guillaume, yeah, very surprised that we didn't lose Rocket. And then I was also very nervous about Peter at the very end. You guys know the part where he's in space and then his face like bloats. I was like, that's it, he's dead. We just watched him die. And then when Adam Warlock saved him, I was like, oh, I'm not ready to lose them. I understand that we're not going to see them all together anytime soon until, we need them for Secret Wars. But I don't know. I would have been like devastated if we lost any of them. And I'm glad that even though we might not get a proper Guardians 4, that we don't have to forever say goodbye to these characters and that there's potential that we'll see them again. Yeah, Thomas, Rocket's backstory is so emotional. I was also worried about Groot, that part where he gets cut down to just his head. I was like, oh, but what a relief no one died, but also what a shock, because I feel like I don't know a single person, any of my friends going into this, who thought, oh, they're all going to walk away alive. So that in itself is just like, I don't know, like mind-blowing. We also got the first use of the word fuck in the MCU. I feel like there's going to be very, very many more F-bombs dropped with Deadpool coming. But I had seen one article like the day before I saw the film, saying that the first use of the F word was in this movie, but I did not read it. I didn't see the clip, so I had no idea when it was going to happen. And that scene when Peter's in the car, first of all, that was hilarious to me when Peter was trying to learn how to drive the car, and he's like, well, I haven't been on Earth, like I don't know how to drive. And he was just driving all over. Peter driving was me trying to do math right now, you guys. So I just thought it was really funny to me. And then when she was trying to get in the car and couldn't figure out like where to press the button and was pressing like the keyhole and everything, I was like, oh, this is like not too funny for me. But then when he said, what did he say? Like, just get in the fucking car, open, whatever he said, I lost it. I was like, oh, there it is. Now I know. So, it was really, really funny to me. My favorite scene, so I have two that really, really stood out to me. The first one, as I mentioned earlier, was the hallway scene. I gotta say, that hallway scene might be, unless I'm forgetting something right now, might be my favorite hallway scene in the whole MCU. The only other hallway scene that I think might still be a little bit above it is the Vader scene in Rogue One, just because it's Vader mowing down people. But this hallway scene, this fight scene, and then set to the Beastie Boys, I loved it. That put the biggest, like, honestly, that scene alone is worth going to see the movie again. So I really, really enjoyed that. I know in my review first of all, let me talk about my review. I tried filming it at the theater like I normally do my Taylor's Takes, just quick, fun, right out of the theater. It was so windy that we tried it and you could not even hear me because the wind was just, I was like grandmother Willow queefed, but you didn't hear that from me. So I came home and then I filmed it. But I was feeling very mixed on the movie, and it was because I think it was because it like left like a sinking feeling in like my gut, and it was a mix of things. It was just like the very, very heavy like sadness that was throughout the movie, and then also the animal violence. I really couldn't handle the animal violence, and it was too much for me. I understand it's very important to show where Rocket came from, his backstory, but I just feel like we understood that, and then like they showed it more and more and more. But I have had time now, a couple days, to think about the movie more, and the more I think about it, the more I really, really do like it. I think it's like a beautifully crafted film too. If you look at the cinematography, the score, the sound design, the stunts, the story itself. There's one character though, I'll tell you guys right now, I am really torn on Adam Warlock. I do not know what to think. I love Will Poulter, and I thought the look was cool. However, can you guys hear June drinking right now? Oh, good girl. I did not expect him to be, I don't know, so dumb. It was funny, but okay, so when we first see Adam Warlock, he's flying in from the distance straight at the screen, right? And I didn't know that's who it was until like you could see him clear. And then that scene when they first introduce him and he's just like ripping up everyone and wrecking shop, I thought that was so badass, and that's what I was expecting from him for the rest of the movie. And then Adam Warlock kind of turned into a joke, and I saw an interview earlier today where Will Poulter learned the word himbo, which I've heard, but I didn't know. It's like a beautiful, like, dumbass. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he was laughing too and was saying, like, I don't know about beautiful, but yeah, like he's kind of dumb. And he was saying it was a fun character to play. So I'm just hoping if, Tom Jr. Jackson in the live chat is saying he was the way he was because he was let out of the cocoon too early. But it's like, I just don't know that I like that decision, that character decision. I really liked how, like, big of a threat he was when they first introduced him, and I was kind of hoping it would have stayed like that through the movie. But we'll see when he comes back next. I don't really know where he would fit in next, but he's a cosmic character, so I'm thinking maybe the Marvels, maybe when we get back to the Eternals and we finally address Rob's Celestials in the ocean. I don't know. Thomas is saying, yeah, I feel Adam Warlock will get even more of a threat later. I think so too. Maybe when he's matured a little bit, and I'm excited to see what they do with him though. The ending is something else that I wanted to talk about. I thought it was a really, really emotional ending. Even though no one died, it was still very emotional, and I felt myself crying, like seeing the Guardians like disband, at least the Guardians that we have grown to love over the past 9 years, according to my math, 2014. I just seeing Mantis go her own way, seeing Peter go his own way, and we understood why. It was just very emotional, very sad. And then yeah, the scene where they're dancing, where Rocket's dancing, Groot's dancing, and then Drax joins in. And the one line that like really, really got me was the line where, oh, was it Nebula said that Drax was meant to be a dad? Oh man, that line really got me. Yeah, Mr. 47, everyone dancing at the end was so earned. It was just such a beautiful way to end the film. And I'm telling you guys right now, so that ending, and then you guys know at the very, very end, it says Star-Lord will return. When Mantis is walking away with those giant creatures, I was thinking she's walking right towards her Disney Plus series. Honestly, I don't think that's the last we're seeing of Mantis. And I think even the way she was like setting up that she's going to go have to do her own adventures, I really feel like we're going to get Mantis's Disney Plus show announced very soon. I would love to see some kind of series with her where she just goes to different planets, tries different things. Maybe a Guardian or two can make cameos in it, but I think that'd be very fun. And then Peter going back to Earth, that's very interesting. And it's very, very interesting to me that at the very end it said Star-Lord will return. It didn't say the Guardians. It didn't say, anyone else, just him. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I think they'll all be back, even though I know multiple actors have said this is their last one, that they're done. I just think we're going to need the Guardians when we get to Avengers 5 and 6 and 69. So yeah, the post-credit scenes, I believe the order it was in was the first one, right? Was the one with the new group of Guardians where they're hanging out and they mention Britney Spears and they're chilling, and then the stampede happens. I like that because you get to see the dynamic between, Kraglin and Cosmo and everything. And then the second one was Peter eating and talking about mowing the lawn. I didn't really understand that one. The mowing the lawn thing, I think went over my head. I was like, I think it's a reference I'm supposed to get. I didn't get it at the moment. But I wanted to also, before I go back to Super Chats and wrap this up, I wanted to talk about some of my favorite standout characters from this movie specifically. So I'm going to go back into my little box and talk about Nebula. One of the things that I loved about Nebula was there were multiple times where her body just like contorted and twisted and turned very weird. I thought that was so fun. I really liked her new upgrades that she got thanks to Rocket. I just thought Nebula really, really shined in this movie and had a lot more to do. She was great. And then next we have Cosmo, who's a good dog. Cosmo is a good dog, you guys. And I will never say otherwise. But I loved Cosmo. I feel like the way they had this good dog setup was great. Seeing the telekinesis, the whole thing back and forth throughout the film with Kraglin, I thought was really good, really funny. I hope we get more Cosmo too very soon. And then Mantis, I feel like this might be, I've always loved Mantis, but this might be the best Mantis I think that we've ever gotten. Like, Mantis was great. I think one of the funniest scenes to me was when Mantis and Drax were in the oh man, I forgot the name of the place, but they were in that place. They were trying to break in like the records place, right? And they were trying to get like the code to end the kill switch for Rocket. And there's the guard at the door, and she makes the guy have a crush on Drax. And then, but it was funny because it almost seemed like Mantis, like Palm Clementif, I believe is how you say her last name. Like, she broke character because there's a scene of them walking right after, and she has like a really cute little giggle. And I was like, oh my gosh, it almost seemed like she broke character, but it was just a very cute scene. I love Mantis's powers, so I'm hoping we get to see more of that as well. And then Groot's the last Guardian I wanted to make sure to talk about. I'm so glad Groot didn't die. I really was worried when it was just Groot's head. I was like, no, please, not again. And It was very interesting at the very end hearing Groot speak, saying, "I love you guys." And I did read an article earlier today too that explained that it wasn't that Groot said something different. It was that we finally understood Groot. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet, because if this is truly the last Guardians like proper film we're getting to finally understand Groot, I was like, that's really sweet. So I loved all of the Guardians in this movie, but those are ones that I wanted to specifically mention. So I think we'll go for about 10 more minutes till 8:45. So if you guys have any more super chats you want to send in, or if you guys want to talk in the live chat, I will check in on that as well. I think we have a super chat. Let's see. Oh, we have one from Irene. Let me see if I could scroll up. I think it was a sticker. Oh, it's a rose. I'm still working on it, Irene, on how to pull up the stickers from the live chat. But thank you so much for the support, Irene. I really appreciate you. How cute, a little rose. And I will go back to the live chat and see how you guys are doing. Let's see. We have Thomas Bartholdi saying, I am Groot. You know what's funny, too, is like, I don't know how many times Groot said, I am Groot throughout the movie or throughout the trilogy, but there was never a single time where I was like, oh my God, I'm sick of it. I thought every single time was great. And there was something else, too, I wanted to point out. Throughout the film, everyone called Rocket a different creature, a badger, a weasel, a hedgehog, a beaver, all these things. That never got old either. And the funniest one to me was when Sylvester Stallone said, I think he said hedgehog. I think that's what he said. Because for some reason, I was not expecting him to do it. I don't know why. I was not expecting him to be in on that too. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I thought that was hilarious. Oh man, but yeah, I am Groot. We have a super chat from AJ Lancaster. Thank you so much for the $10 support. I really appreciate you. Haven't seen the movie yet. Just jumping in to see. Uh-oh. hopefully I haven't spoiled anything for you. Sorry. To drop a like. Keep killing it. Thank you so much, AJ Lancaster. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the movie when you get a chance to see it. And hopefully I didn't spoil anything. But yeah, question for the live chat, you guys. For those of you who have seen it, what format did you see it in? Did you see it in IMAX and Dolby? Did any of you see it in 3D? Because I've been asking everyone. None of my friends have seen it in 3D. I don't know anyone that has seen it. And I just want to know, was the 3D worth it? Was it good? How did it look? Let's see. All right. Do Good saw it in standard 2D. Thomas Bartholdi saw it in IMAX. Oh, okay. Peter Cunnington saw it in 3D. Not worth it. Okay. Let's see. Mr. 47 saw it in Dolby Prime. Alan S. says, it was so sad that Peter and Gamora didn't end up together. It made sense, though. Yeah, that's something, too. I think that's another reason why I was feeling a little bit mixed on it when I first got out of the theater. I was really hoping that this version of Gamora and Peter would end up together. And it really did bum me out that they didn't. However, neither of them died. And we know Star-Lord will be back. I know Zoe Saldana has said this is her last one. But they did leave it open-ended. And I feel like she was starting to turn and starting to have her feelings at the very, very end of the movie. I was surprised, though. I really thought like one of the last shots of the movie was going to be them kissing or them dancing or something. So I want to see them back together. But it is very sad. That one scene, though, where they're all wearing the different colored spacesuits and they are going to break into the facility, and Peter and Gamora are having what Peter thinks is a private conversation. That scene, so they showed that to us at CinemaCon, and I was busting up. And then I knew exactly what was going to happen when they showed it in the theater the other night. And I still like lost it. That scene is just so fun, especially because like it just keeps going and going. Like, no, green is for blue and blue is for orange. And then Mantis is like, let me try. And then she just like screams at the top. That scene was hilarious to me. Let's see. Mr. 47 says, Taylor, I highly recommend you play the Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out a few years ago. You know, I was going to get that game. Sorry, my voice is like, it's because I'm still emotional. I was going to get that game, but then I heard you can only play as one character as Star-Lord. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do have the Avengers game that came out maybe like a year or two before that, and I really liked that one where you can play as Ms. Marvel and Captain America and the Hulk. That one's very fun. You can switch between the characters. We have Nikki in the live chat. Hey, how are you? I'm glad they didn't get together. Would have felt kind of cheap. Yeah, I don't know that I necessarily needed them to be like back 100% together on board, but maybe just like a tiny bit more. Like, but I feel like we at least got like she was heading that way, or at least that's the way I interpreted it. Let's see. Do Good says, I didn't need them to end up together, but I was kind of disappointed that Gamora didn't really feel like a part of the group. She felt more like a third wheel. I didn't feel the love between them. I felt like that at first, but then I feel like, for me at least, as soon as she started to, oh my God, you guys, what the hell? Sorry about that. As soon as she started to protect Rocket, I was like, oh, like she's starting to get back to the groove of being in the group. And then I just felt like, especially when she teamed up with everyone in that hallway scene at the end, I was like, oh, it just felt like the Guardians were all back together. It was very nice. I am Groot. Let's see. Marcus Y. Hey, Marcus, how are you? Thanks for being here. Says Gamora was turning when she saw Quill not give up on Rocket on the operating table. Yeah, that was, oh my gosh. I really thought we lost Rocket. I really, really did. And I was bummed because even like all of the promotional stuff, like the posters and everything, had been advertising like this is Rocket's story. We're going to learn his backstory. So I was like, well, this is it for Rocket. I'm just so glad. Oh, I want to make sure that I showed off everything I wanted to. We went through the box office results, the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Yeah, I'm just very interested to see how it does. I'm wondering too, because this one has a heavier subject matter and it's not as like a happy, good feeling movie as we're used to from Marvel, just with all the tragic stuff we learn, and just like it's not, I don't know, it's not like a straight up comedy. I'm wondering how many repeat views this will have, but I'm hoping, really hoping that the box office for this exceeds the projections, because Marvel needs it and the theaters need it, and it's just a good way, because it's May now, so it's a good way to kick off the summer box office. There's a lot of movies coming out. I think this summer is going to be crazy, and I hope that they're all great. So I have a couple more minutes to hang out with you guys. I will go back to the live chat. Let's see here. Let's see. Thomas says, I'd totally see Guardians 3 again. Have any of you seen it more than once yet? Let's see. Mr. 47 says, if this wasn't the last film in the series and Gunn wasn't leaving to run DC, they could have done like a 51st Dates romantic comedy with Gamora and Peter. Wow. First of all, I love 51st Dates, but I didn't even think of that. That would have been really interesting. I don't think James Gunn is coming back. I think even if he wanted to, which I don't know that he does, I think he's going to be so busy with DC. But that would have been great. That would have been a great movie. Yeah. Let's see. Do Good says, really great movies though. Solid movie. I would say, I thought, at least on second base for me. Yeah, I think overall I really, really, really enjoyed it. I just wish the animal cruelty was not so intense and so spread throughout like the whole movie. And I don't know. I just I think I'm still torn on Adam Warlock, because like the character was funny, but maybe not for Adam Warlock specifically. Like that could have been a different character, I think, is how I'm feeling. But like we've talked about earlier, I think, yeah, as he ages and matures, maybe they will make him more of a threat and make him more smarter, better at math, you guys. Alan S says, I love the ending credit scene, the Bruce Springsteen song, especially that pic of them all together. Yeah, the picture of them all together was really sweet too. Let's see. I'll take a couple more questions and then I gotta head out. Let's see. Do Good says, just out of curiosity, who do you think Marvel should bring in to replace, it says Gone, because you could have a new Guardians movie with a new team. Replace Gon. Oh, Gon. Oh, sorry. Okay, I think autocorrect changed it to Gon. I was like, oh, thank you, David. David, help me out. Gon. Oh, that's a tough question. I don't know, because I feel like no matter who they bring in, I don't think that same chemistry is going to be there. I think James Gunn plays such a huge role in this. I don't know. But I'm really curious if we're going to get a Guardians movie with the new team up, with Kraglin, with the little girl. What were they saying? Joob Joob? That meant friend. That was really sweet. I don't know. I don't know who I would replace. We have a super chat from Tom Jr. Jackson, who says, great stream, Taylor. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. And the orange emoji. I can't, Tom. But thank you, Tom, for the support. I really appreciate you being here, and thank you for the super chat. And let's see. Ooh, Thomas got to meet Stan Lee a long time ago in Vegas. That's awesome. That's really cool. Oh, Mr. 47, thank you, because this was something I was wondering too. Mr. 47 says, some people were confused why Peter didn't use his rocket boots and helmet, but they were destroyed in Volume 2. The Russo brothers didn't remember that when making Infinity War and Endgame. Oh, that's interesting. I just figured he had more than one. Like, I don't know. But that's interesting, because I was wondering that too. When Peter was out in space at the very end and his face bloated, I was like, why isn't he using his rocket boots and why isn't he using his helmet? So that's interesting. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, okay, well that makes sense. Thank you for clearing that up. That is good to know. Let's see. All right, last question. I'll take one last question. Oh, sorry, Mashby. Mashby just got here. I am late to the stream. Hi, Taylor. I will rewatch. Oh, you haven't seen Guardians 3 yet. Okay. Well, no worries, Mashby. Thank you for being here. I hope you get a chance to watch it very soon and that you enjoy the movie. But I'll take one more question. Let's see. All right, T-movies. Taylor, have you seen the Belko Experiment? Oh, yeah. It's written by James Gunn and is the director of Wolf Creek, Greg McLean. And he is, okay, your choice to replace James Gunn for the next Guardians lineup. Okay, that's interesting. I do remember that movie. That's the one where they're like all in an office building, right? And it's like a battle royale type movie. I remember that movie, if I'm thinking of the right one. But that'd be an interesting choice. Yeah, maybe someone that James Gunn has collaborated with in the past would be a good choice to replace him. Okay, T-Movies is saying it's like Office Space meets Battle Royale. Okay, yeah, I remember that movie. That was a while ago. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think that'd be a good choice. Junie. All right, you guys, I have to go. I have to head out. But thank you so much to everyone who joined the live stream tonight. Thank you for everyone who sent in super chats to support the channel. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys all have, it's Saturday. I keep having to remind myself this. A great rest of your weekend. And for those of you who have not seen the movie yet, hopefully I didn't ruin too much of it, and I hope you guys have fun. And thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Mr. 47, Marcus Y, Mashby, T-Movies, Thomas Bartholdi, later Tay be Groot as hell. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.